Hello friends, today we will discuss about the hernia. Okay. Hernia condition in which part of an organ is displaced and protruded through the wall of the cavity and containing. Okay. It is a condition in which a part of the organ or part of organ means organ tissue will be displaced from the surface area where it is connected and it will protrude. Okay, means it will go away from the surface area. Okay, and through the wall of the cavity where it will in the opening cavity it will go out. Okay, next is type of hernia: inguinal hernia, hiatal hernia, femoral hernia, umbilical hernia, and incisional or ventral hernia. Okay, now inguinal hernia have classified into two types, subtypes. Okay, indirect inguinal hernia and direct inguinal hernia. Okay, so inguinal hernia, the intestine pushed through a weak or tear into the lower abdominal wall. Okay, it means inguinal hernia, the intestine put their tissue through a weak or tear muscles. Okay, lower abdominal walls. Okay, types are indirect inguinal hernia: muscle weakness at the inguinal ring causes failure closure of the deep ring inguinal rings. Okay, means muscle weakness will be there. From that muscle weakness where it occur, it will failure to closure of the deep inguinal ring. Okay, next is direct inguinal hernia. It pushes through a weak point in the fascia or abdominal wall and the medial of the inferior epigastric artery. Where weak point is there in the abdominal wall, there it will push. Okay, hiatal hernia. Hiatal hernia definition: hiatal hernia is a herniation of the portion of the stomach into the esophagus through an opening or hiatus in the diaphragm. Hiatal hernia is herniation of a portion of the stomach. Means herniation will be occur from the stomach tissue into the esophagus through an opening or in the diaphragm. Okay, from the opening in the diaphragm, okay, the stomach cell will be enter in the that cells which disclose from the surface area in the stomach will enter in the esophagus. Okay, it is also referred to as a diaphragmatic hernia and esophageal hernia. Okay, hiatal hernia are divided into two types: sliding. The junction of the stomach and the esophagus is above the diaphragm and a part of the stomach slides through a hiatal opening in diaphragm. The junction of the stomach and the esophagus is above the diaphragm. Okay, and a part of the stomach slide through hiatal opening in the diaphragm. Okay, opening will be there in the diaphragm. Okay, this tissue will be enter from the diaphragm. Okay, opening will be occur in the diaphragm and that tissue will be enter from the diaphragm. Okay, or diaphragm openings. Paraesophageal or rolling: the esophageal gastric junction remain in the normal position, but the fundus and greater curvature of the stomach roll up through the diaphragm, forming a pocket alongside the esophagus. A pocket will be formed on the side of esophagus. Okay, on the upper part of the stomach. Okay, etiology of the hiatal hernia: weakening of the muscle in the diaphragm around the esophageal opening. Okay, in the around the diaphragm around the esophagogastric muscles are weak. Due to the weak or thin of the muscles, that hernia will be occur with aging. As increasing the age, hernia will be occur due to the thin of the muscles or weakness of the muscles layer. Factor that increase intra-abdominal pressure: if increase the abdominal pressure or intra-abdominal, okay, so that will lead to make thick surface or thick muscle layers. Okay, obesity: if obese person having their muscle layers thin. Pregnancy. Okay, ascites Ascites means fluid collection in the abdominal cavity. Tumors. Okay. Then intense physical exertions. Clinical manifestation: heartburn. Okay. What the sign symptom will be show in the hernia patient or hiatal hernia patients? That is heartburn, irritation to esophageal mucosa. Okay. Irritation will be occur in the esophageal mucosa, esophagus linings. Okay. Then dyspepsia, dysphagia, then regurgitation. Regurgitation means fluid will be come up from the stomach or esophagus in the re- respiratory tract. Okay, in the upper part, food will become in the upper part of the digestive system. Hypersalivation, salivation will be increased. Complication of the hiatal hernia. What are the complication of the hiatal hernia? GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. Next, esophagitis, inflammation of the esophagus. Hemorrhage from the erosions. Bleeding will be there from that erosions. Stenosis, narrowing of the blood vessels. Okay, in the particular organs or structure of the organ will be changes. Ulceration of the herniated portion of the stomach. Ulcer will be there in the herniated area. Okay, where hernia is there, in that particular area ulcer will be occur. Strangulation of the hernia. Strangulation means it occur when blood supply to the herniated tissue has been cut. Okay, where blood supply is cut, blood vessels will be cut, so there it lead to strangulation due to the necrosis of the cells. Then regurgitation with tracheal aspiration. Okay, regurgitation will be occur with the tracheal aspiration. Okay, food will be go into the trachea, it will enter in the trachea. Diagnostic study: history, physical examination, motility study, esophagram, barium swallow, endoscopic visualization of the lower esophagus. History should be collected from the patient related to any abdominal surgery, any past abdominal problems, okay, and any abdominal hernia, past hernia, or physical examination. Okay, for any surgical incision is there, that will be observed during the physical examination. Okay, then motility study, then esophagram, barium swallow. In this content will be providing for the swallowing thick content, and during that period esophagram will be done. Endoscopic visualization of the lower esophagus. Okay, in the endoscopic visualization, with the help of endoscope, esophagus will be visualized. Okay, visualization will be done of the esophagus. Management of the hiatal hernia. Medication: proton pump inhibitors and histamines receptor or blockers are common and effective treatment for symptomatic GERD. Symptomatic GERD treated with proton pump inhibitor and ST2 receptor blockers. ST receptor blockers reduce symptoms and promote esophageal healing in the 50% of patients. Sucralfate and anti-ulcer drug is used for its cytoprotective properties. Sucralfate and anti-ulcer drug is used for its cytoprotective properties. Okay, preventing from the ulcer. Cholinergic drug increase lower esophageal inspector pressure, improve esophageal emptying in the supine position. Okay, this will improve in the esophageal emptying in the supine position. During the supine position, esophageal will be empty, and increase gastric acid emptying. Cholinergic drug also increase HCl acid secretion. Okay, cholinergic drug will be increase HCl acid secretion, and prokinetic drug promotes gastric emptying and reduce the risk of gastric acid reflux. Antacids produce quick but short-lived relief of heartburn. anti-ulcer protectants, sucral fat, cholinergic, bethancolol, anti-acid, acid neutralizers, single substance, aluminum carbonate, aluminum hydroxide, calcium carbonate. These are the single substance. Aluminum and magnesium, gelocil, aluminum, prostaglandin, misoprostol. Okay. And surgical management. In the hiatal hernia, surgical management is herniatomy. Herniatomy, in that herniatomy, removal of the hernial sac only. Okay. And next is herniorrhaphy. In the herniorrhaphy, herniatomy plus repair of the posterior wall of the inguinal canal. Okay. In the herniorrhaphy, herniatomy with repair of the posterior wall of the inguinal canal. And anti-reflux procedure. Anti-reflux procedure is surgical procedure to treat gastroesophageal reflux disease. Okay, that GERD disease will be treated with the anti-reflux procedures, and hiatal hernia also treated with the anti-reflux procedure. Next, gastropexy. Gastropexy is a surgical procedure in which the stomach is sutured to the abdominal wall or the diaphragm. Okay, in this the suture will be done to the abdominal wall and the diaphragm. Okay. Next is femoral hernia. Third hernia is femoral hernia. A femoral hernia occurs when there is protrusion through femoral ring into the femoral canal. Okay, if protrusion will be occur through the femoral ring into the femoral canal, it occur more frequent in women. Okay, femoral hernia occur mostly in the women. Umbilical hernia. The umbilical hernia occur when the umbilical opening fail to close after the birth. After the birth of baby, there is failure to close of the umbilical opening. Okay. Then ventral or incisional hernia. From the any incisional or any previous surgery, any incisional hernia are due to the weakness of the abdominal wall at the site of previous incision, where incision is made on the during the surgery. That layer on muscle will be weakness. Due to that weakness, incisional hernia will be there, or incisional hernia will be occur. Risk and etiological factor: obesity, heavy weight lifting, congenital defect, damage from injury and surgery, muscle weakness, pregnancy. Okay, this obesity are risk factor for the hernia. Heavy weight lifting: if person is lifting heavy weight, okay, during the congenital defect, that is the from the defect from the birth. Okay, that umbilical is not close, failure to close of umbilicus. And damage from the injury or surgery, sometimes damage or getting injury of the body organs. Muscle weakness: if muscle weakness is there or muscle layer are thin, there is chances of hernia. Pregnancy. Okay, sign and symptoms: small to moderate size hernia don't usually show any symptoms. Okay, small to moderate size hernia don't usually show symptoms. Pain when lifting heavy object. Pain is symptom when person is lifting heavy object, that time they feel pain. Tenderness, bulging. Severe symptoms: severe and sudden pain, patient getting severe and sudden pain. Okay, suddenly they are feeling pain in the abdominal cavity. Nausea, vomiting, constipations. Okay, because problems occur in the abdominal cavity. Diagnostic evaluation: history. In the history, collect the history from the patient and patient relative about the past surgical, incisional and birth defect. Okay, and any past medical history related to the hernia or abdominal surgery, that should be collected from the patient and their relatives. Physical examination: complete physical examination should be done. Barium X-ray, okay, MRI, X-ray of the abdomen, blood test, CBC, WBC, detect inflammation, infection and presence of tissue necrosis. Okay. Then medical management. In the medical management, antibiotic use if the patient has strangulated hernia. Okay. For IV, for that IV cifoxin 1 gram 6 to 8 hourly and capsule ampicillin 250 to 500 mg 6 hourly. H2 receptor blockers are used in the patient with hiatal hernia. Tablet famotidine 40 mg daily and tablet ranitidine 150 mg BD means 2 times per day. And proton pump inhibitor PPI means proton pump inhibitor used if the patient with hiatal hernia. Tablet lansoprazole 15 to 30 mg daily. Capsule omeprazole 20 to 40 mg daily. Tablet pantoprazole 20 to 40 mg daily. Anti-anxiety agents. In that anti-anxiety for tablet dormicum 7.5 to 15 mg PRN. Surgical management. Nissen fundoplication, laparoscopic hernia and herniorrhaphy. These are the surgical procedure which done for the hernia. Okay, laparoscopic hernia means opening the abdominal and repair the hernia, and herniorrhaphy, okay, repair the hernia with the help with herniatomy. Complication. Post herniorrhaphy pain is there in the patient. Patient feel pain post surgery. Hernia recurrence. Okay, hernia will be occur again. Wound infection. There is chances of infection in the wound. Ischemia, necrosis. Necrosis or tissue necrosis will be occur in the wound or in the hernia surgery area. Nursing diagnosis. Anxiety related to undergoing surgery secondary to disease condition. Pain related to surgical site secondary to surgery. High risk of infection related to surgical incision. Nursing intervention. Assess anxiety level of patient. Explain the detail of surgery that patient will undergoing to reduce his fear and anxiety. Okay. In the assess the anxiety level of the patient, assess the anxiety level of patient. Okay, and their fear of from the surgery or due to the disease condition, that anxiety level will be assessed, and explain the detail of surgery that patient will undergoing to reduce the fear and anxiety. When patient going in the surgery room, before that explain the procedure to the patient and reduce their anxiety. Explain the possible outcome about the surgery so patient more clear about the surgery. Explain the outcome of the surgery, that after the surgery they will be relieved from the pain or these problems. And assess the patient vital signs. Monitor the vital signs of the patient and record it in the file. Assess the patient for the pain score using numerical pain score to evaluate the severity or the pain. With the help of pain scale, assess the severity of pain and record in the paper. Teach patient to put pillow at the surgical site while coughing to reduce the pain and pressure to the area. Tell to the patient for deep breathing. Assess the surgical site for signs and symptoms of infection as severe itchiness. Take a swab specimen for culture and sensitivity as ordered by the doctor to detect the type of bacteria that cause infection. Okay. Maintain strict aseptic technique when performing dressing to decrease the spreading the infection. Okay. While doing this dressing during that period, maintaining the aseptic technique or preventing the from the infection. Okay. Then health education. Advise patient to come for follow up to the monitor patient prognosis progress. Okay. Educate the patient to avoid wearing tight clothes to minimize abdominal pressure, lose weight. Okay. Use proper lifting technique. Provide and teaching to the patient for using proper lifting techniques. Okay. Exercise regularly. Give them education regarding exercise. Okay. And for fitness, advise patient to take high fiber diet. Thank you.